Hi Year 3, welcome back to your maths video. Today's learning objective is, can I use my knowledge of the 5 times table to count in steps of 50? Before we start the lesson, you need to do your arithmetic test. So here are your questions. Pause the video and use any method that you would like that would help you answer these questions. So you can use a written method or a pictorial method if that helps you. And once you've answered all the questions, then play the video when you're ready to see the answers. Okay, so now that you've had a go at doing all the questions by yourself, I'm going to show you the answers and you're going to correct your work. So if you've got the answer correct, just give yourself a tick. And if you've made a mistake, that's fine. You can just write the correct answer next to it. So here are the answers for your arithmetic questions. Pause the video, correct yourself, and when you're ready, we'll start the lesson. Okay, so today's learning objective was to use our knowledge of the 5 times table to count in steps of 50. So let's refresh our memory on counting in fives. Let's count in fives together for the first set of images, and then you can have a go at counting in fives yourself. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can you now pause the video and count in fives for the second set of images and play the video when you're ready? Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay, this is a question for you to think about. What do you notice between these two number tracks? So look at the first row very carefully and look at the second row very carefully. What do you notice between the first row and the second row? Pause the video if you need some time and play the video when you're ready. Okay, so what I've noticed in the first row is that in the first number track, we are counting in fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. In the second number track, I've noticed that we're counting in 50s instead of counting in fives. So the numbers are going up in 50. 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400. Okay, I want you to pause the video again and look at the similarity. So you've just noticed a difference between the two number tracks, which is the top number track is going up in fives and the second number track is going up in 50s. Can you now spot any similarities between the first number track and the second number track? Play the video when you're ready. Okay, so if we look very carefully at the numbers that are going up in fives and compare them to the numbers that are going up in 50s, I noticed that they are very similar. So this one is a 5, this one has a 5 with an extra 0 in front of it, which makes it 50. Similarly, for the second number, when you're counting up in fives, the second number is 10. When you're counting up in 50s, the second number is 100, which is basically 10 with an extra 0 in front of it. And the same pattern goes for the rest of the numbers. So there's actually a link between counting in fives and counting in 50s. Okay, can you complete these number tracks? Pause the video on a piece of paper, you can, or saying it out loud, can you have a go at completing these number tracks and then we'll have a go together. These questions I don't need to see on tapestry, these are just for you to have a go at before you get to your main activity. Okay, so when completing number tracks, we need to look carefully at whether the numbers are going up or down. So if I look at the first number given is 50, and even though we've got a gap here, I can see that the next number is 150. So I know that my numbers in this number track are going up if I look at it from this direction. So 50, counting in 50s, the next one would be 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. The next one, we need to do the same. So I know that my number track starts with 400. The next number given is 450. So are my numbers going up or down? Well, I can see that my numbers are getting bigger, so I need to count up in 50s. 400, 450, 500, 550, 600, 650, 700. Okay, my first number given is 700. I've got a gap here, but the next number that I'm given is 600. What's happening to my numbers? Are they getting bigger or are they getting smaller? Well, I can see that 600 is smaller than 700. So I need to count back in 50s. Counting back from 700, 650, 600, 550, 500. Okay. This is your first independent activity. So can you make sure you label this very clearly on your piece of paper that you're going to upload onto Tapestry? This is activity 1, and then you can label it A, B, and C. Remember to look carefully at whether the numbers are going up in 50s or down in 50s. So whether you need to count up or whether you need to count backwards. When you have finished activity 1, play the video and we'll discuss the next slide. Okay, let's complete the sequence. You can again pause the video and have a go at saying these out loud or writing them on your piece of paper if it helps you, and then we'll discuss it together as well. So here in this sequence, I need to do the same as I would do in a number track. See whether my numbers are going up or down. So it starts with 300. The next number given, even though we've got quite a few gaps, the next number is 500. So I know that my number is going up. I need to count up in 50s. 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550. Okay, for the next one, I can see that this is a little bit more tricky because I start with quite a few gaps. The first number that I'm given is 150 and the next one is 200. So already I know that I'm counting up in 50s because my number's increasing or going up. What I'm going to find easier to do is to complete this last one and then count back in 50s from the last number given, just because I have quite a few gaps here. But you can also do it this way if you would prefer. So the number would be going up in 50s if we look at it from this direction, and going down in 50s if we look at it from this direction. So starting with 150, which is the first number we're given, 200, 250. Now I've got these three numbers. I know that my numbers are going down in 50s if I look at it from the right side. So 250, 200, 150, 100, 50, and 0. And again, if I was to count it from the left side, my numbers would be going up. So 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. Activity 2, this is also for you to do independently. Make sure you label activity 2 clearly on your piece of paper and label it A, B, C, D, and E. Remember, for the questions that are written in words, you don't need to write the worded question, you just need to write your answers. Once you've finished activity 2, play the video again and I will show you activity 3, which we'll have a go at together at first, and then the rest of it you can do independently. Pause the video now and complete activity 2 by yourself. Okay, so activity 3 is also something you're going to be doing independently. We're going to start off by doing the first one together. It says circle in the mistake in the sequence. So starting with A, let's look at the numbers and then see whether we can spot a mistake. 100, 160, 200, 250, 300. What was the mistake in this sequence? Well, I can see that from here onwards, we're counting in 50s, 200, 250, 300. But from 100, it goes to 160 rather than 150. So 160 is my mistake. So pause the video now and complete the rest of activity 3 independently. Make sure you upload all of your work onto Tapestry, and I look forward to seeing all of your maths work. Well done, Year 3, and I will see you in the next maths video. Bye.